penina odom we humobora kwenti se da so tenkwama o se de ayi ni na ase ma wo eda wase wona wotwe adehua wo de ama yen yesrew ye de opani hye wonsa nimdi a wo de ama no hyira no enyo no nko na busua ene won na wo cheche wo nyina hye wo nyina maako ene nso me adesua anya sonko ma yente ase ewo Yesu Kristo di munti amen. Yo opani doc yede aha ejaw
me patrio me dase na unu se me fipa na otwe ni nyina no ma hye bibi nso na ma pese mebusa basi sia de be bewe nti bisi me busa preko me ba nyina no ase tembe obi edum ne camera menim se yen hyehye e wasafo ni man na mebusu the whole week a nti na me pese mebusa hwe se ena me so mindum me dia
da bi ya ne pese wa ye nyina pese ye nyina ya ye hwe wa wo kasa no because ya na ye obi bie no also any problem ho but ya na de ne se nipa ni nyina gugu so ya na ye destructive kakra but ye nyina ye focus wo nko a wo kasa no so ne ye dundum ne dia wo se am ya dwene etie de wo kan pa.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
that's the
right.
only thing. Yeah, should any
okay.
yeah, obi person baby when you how okra.
Because me make so am person me who be and I've been watching blank screens the whole time. Usually cafes na ya me but I'm say me buy na me ferry nti na me ntimi enka. But I said they say am dey bury nti me enka ne preko. Okay. But not just by the way. At least what they say during presentation the bedroom now fine say do see ebusa questions na. Yen so ne hu be anim because bebre wo hono ma me hu moda now so say me who watch pay ye my anim no cram kai at least you've had the opportunity to see my face but me your opportunity to see me who when you
That's
they do Q&A na at least a honor the yen so na me who when him kakra right
good.
Okay
Good.
me that's it also for Endra yes started personality disorders no na I think it's on reflection no I think it's a medical kakra, right? And na me sure say ebi means me within the 2 days. Until not me perceive me speeding it up. Say be ya at least you bet to me every within the 2 days. But then say be so imagine so na MS also fine. But that is how I felt. Until ebi and then me slow it down more. Say but say me slow it down more. Na ye ntimi ewia or chine ewia wo hono. Na ye wie no preko na afi the questions are ye won na otwe mu nyina no ye tumi answer. I think say no beboa since say me speed no up na bia ye nyamu ntiase bi na ye gya ne sa ne asoreko nti no nyankopon emwa yesa na ye nyamu ntiase because it's very important say ye beti ase ana we so no mehre a technical subject ana ye discuss se me use words bi na se won tie ase a me so very so busa and chere se bi pedifo manim a and chere se bi won tie brofo ana chere so se bi wonim de wo ho ye yi ade ni yesua and said them kind of a technical subject ni yesua enti ne se words ni bi wo honom na se enti ase na amba papa busa men ferry chekra say o mpese obi aso behu a o de o send the message na o ye na direct to me a me nko amehu me read a me mbodi na metimi eyi anosa because what child ye na say obi ante ase a then na emfaso obi ani so ana me mpa de child be wie na do you understand yes let me busa question na oh I didn't understand that one okay now which part don't you understand? See the whole show who send the area the whole show the area into no muma ye ne sa na ye nyina ye nya mu ntiase a Nyankopon epese ye nya. So we've been talking about personality disorders since Indra and then ye twaso ye drew cluster B no so right ye drew cluster B no so and cluster B no ye try say those people no na omo behaviors no bibia usually stand out yeah, na omono more empathy. They don't have empathy actually for others. And yeah, so say personality disorders ni nyina no 15, right? But for the sake of time, no, ye nyina G2 say ye nka 15 ni nyina ho asem. Enti the pause ye ka ho asem no, and ye to aso ne. We say no be the last one of cluster B, na fi the cluster C ne so. And Indra, so I think say Brian Elijah and Busa the question about temperament and personality. And Pastor also so with the question. I know ye by a dear, but Yamin Mamre say a quabema with the chat be better honum and a bright ye no. Then we can compare the two. Say Baya Indra answer no into a send bit my by year with graphics, right? Okay. And a sharp here with narcissistic personality disorder. And make I say, and yet disorder be an a bonnet, like a bad, right? Enye. If you want to say, what here say ye, no one use wo year, it's so to be bam for so long. And this is one of those, for bebre ewo, but bebre na who use wo ye. Na me ba be this one na member on fatu whom ye no be. She said the Indra, me ma real life examples are with people. It is believed to say no more be. She said it didn't be a boy me born rogue. Pastor me sabon rogue and not correct me. Aka blazer, right?
Aka blame music. Aka blame.
Aka blame music. Okay. In the meeting, in the me boy na me messing up, yes. Actually, me Baba Kumpo, but still me friend by the first name. Say, yeah, me friend by the last name. Do we are friend by the first name? Ono was the avoider personality, where he used that personality disorder to amass wealth and also do stuff, right? Into narcissistic for no ye beka say omone de wahi. Omono wo the word grandiose from the word grand kesiye. Into they have a grandiose sense of self-importance. As omu di proso. Enti no se ohu ne ho sebe oye nipa sen afoforo. Se eba ne se otimi enya abodi kakra bia the way ototo ho je ho no ema no eye kese. Ana se oni nkrofobia ye ade a he wants to claim superiority as opese ochese odimu wokuo ni mu esen afoforo. And they also preoccupied with the fantasy of unlimited success. I said, what come kind a bruise to be. I said, Sabio, what didn't who when yan who be. I said, over to me be a broso. I said, Sabi, Nansen, Nansabuaqua, Nansen, no ekrano. And he said, oh, you're so smart, right? And I or Jin who did say, Sabi, no, who offer. Oh, it is not money now. I said every little thing to them is very magnified. Or more especially when it comes to them. Say a band say a war hornomodia, there be any to be, but the same thing be din hornoma at the kakraka. And no, Madame will be or say Sarkophone and say only the talk into my pofa. That's a muchima on the fano, papa saying, oh dear. Okay. So it's all about them and what they see to be the most. Okay. So with these people, we have to also with their symptoms, they believe that they're very special and should be treated with special like kid gloves. I said, "Omona, yeah, differently. Oh, Nasemba, oh, car, also ye, or didn't who this on it a teacher for Anna Ebo. Oh, Anna Ojinu said they are with higher institutions and people. Anna, they requires excessive admiration. Bibi any person who come for no. Or no son as or ya dear mouth. Nessa one count for na or to me find a personal. And also say, and yes, say, oh yes, you crumple can say for corona can where hints I say that you here and ya no one seven America. Yes, it's true, say I say that you here. But then as o does now call friend for beka ho no mo beda nase e wo de wa yama wo ho And as I say, what does the next one stress? I say, don't crumple too much. Now they may have a problem with it because they want that, they want to feel say, yes, they might no Kenya me a cow baby and now. Okay. And they have these unreasonable expectations of favorable treatments. As I said, Masem Crapo Bar, as a church board, mutimi, a shenaki, a can ye, because as a funumuno crapo no say, basically, yeah, your boy for ye, and metimi, dear female, the akin in a cry, say. Those kind of people. We are very exploitative. So be cradia, and I say, idea will be one. They try to take advantage of others. And now they lack empathy. We say I say cluster B for no, that is very typical of them. Until they say, but they say, oh, yeah, be 8 years, oh, put yourself in my shoes. There be the 9 cool shoes because nice size is or a big boy or a big girl. Until you don't to be putting him or herself in your shoes, right? Until the money nya atin kanye humobro ema fufro. Kenya sa anka on press or bejo dear, on press say we nesabeka dear, nenim bre o dear. But esa so mo like sa empathy nintino, and my tembiano, it is about them. And they are also very envious of others, or many break for right? And then they show arrogance. I know right? They show arrogance. I said, but it's more of a humaswo than disrespect. It has to be me. And they have this proud behaviors and attitudes, right? Okay, so with this symptoms say and that's a presentation, me using this with this presentation now, there are two people that may come to mind that you know, and with the say who or more faka ho, but in patch of maninka uchi. Bako the one that you CNN I refer to, especially during the years of 2016 to 2020. Now, or your United States president. Pastor, sorry. Right? And I say, you mind, you know, who the pack. It's not your mom, make kick any, you know.
Unim say, Omu uses our word in a man, Mammy said, I could find this name, I could the meaning of that word. Narcissist, no.
Right.
That word, yes, let's say it. No,
and who's a fitted so right? And that is the kind of person. And into the maker says, so when you see here, he's used that trait and personality no one and rose to become the president of the United States. Oh, into sometimes so you see the year, yes, it can go to your benefit, but any idea, person tell you because sometimes also it rubs off people wrongly. And we might want to take note. The other person, a musician of Ghana, also a dance hall. For those that follow music, any gospel music, right? Pastor Hoon Pakro. And to was a time piano, he's picking fight with other people because he feels as if everybody has to toe his line. Say, me car, and they say, yeah, what do you mean? Is that me car? And you know, Sanko for now, but no, why, yeah, and they rise here, they do baby or they do. You know, say he first came out with a different name. Now, oh yeah, nice and all that, right? I'm fat. I know, coach man or somebody will rebrand. I know this character they buy or they buy and they shooting it out. So can you blame him? Right? So once again, these kind of personalities, you know, being it apart from cluster A, you know, which typically need the chemical and all that. But we say now, what can I say? I say if you want to, I can just learn it and present it very well, like in my presentation. And yes, I made it you. Make me act it to say obi or yes, sir. When I want to. Into no share the year, next all you see the year, you can get those benefits. But obi or no so now, only post like not grandma and who so post say or also or yama didn't or not them and then the relationship like if you're on in the year and also on in the and also on the ma it's causing rift in the family. Into the banner sana a crime bear so near fafa. First of all, I think some my captain says, Bunny says, so be what he be. Now, so person watching they say, oh, wouldn't you dear to be a woman, dear? And see a people be don't go with diagnosis, go with symptoms. Into the South, I catch him say, oh, Bema, the so narcissistic, right? That's a mention. No, I feel like I don't put myself like that. Many are very conscious of it. Esa say, CNN for the I describe you bien, you know. When you kind of then I feel say what they made to 20 per chrono, and maybe that will be a person I don't care much for. If the answer ban is happening, that become defensive, and then will also respond likewise. But then if you go with the symptoms, boga into my minu nyina na koto na wo pofa no better than me dear. That is a symptom. That is a presentation. Why exhibiting that behavior, no? And we are referring to it. With that case, it's difficult for them to deny or defend. So they don't have empathy for a forefront. Right? Then you talk about, you discuss it on the mention. And you let with that, then they can denounce their behavior and say, oh, he said they me a how be. Then they can work on it. But when they try to benefit from the behavior, then it's very difficult for them to give it up. And that is why the treatment of personality disorders are very difficult. When they see say they are benefiting from it, he said 2 examples here in my. Now I should be so do nothing about catching so it will be very difficult, right? But then there are therapies that we use in helping people with their personalities and also medications to help them. And to the Sebani says, so we might want to pay attention to these things, help them, and then bring them out. Okay. And I also said, Andrea Meka, I said part of the goals why yes, your personality disorders in answer the other part, and they said, make me baby only chronic fever. No matter how so I'm so many be reacting, and as I'm reacting to the person, and I'm in be interacting. And to me who say okay, only pakwe it says the pabai be say no ye, and it should be say no than the dear. Then I can also say okay, and yes, I dear, Miss who kwaya me do be fast. You need bet matina sundium. Anything electronic says a bit to me and you'll be antina sundium. Because you have to understand the individual. And yes, and at there is confrontation, right? Okay. Now, you call cluster C, no so. And we'll start with the first one. Cluster C, you know, when I have my favorite, right? The other two, the second one or the third one will be Uncle Freddy. But why am I my favorite? Because I don't know whether to say I was once like that, and I also say I've been a victim of the program was sorry. And I sat on the mission, and that's my time to the and my year. Then the reaction that I received, if you remember me, I say nipa mu kasa pa dear, forget it. And I said because I said to say me actually me back home man on me started kasa kakra. And I'm starting program when after the Maya Kasatete, right? But then before this, I was a very shy person. You put me in front of more than 2 people, it's all because of the Tommy or Crabrim. And the second thing I said to me, Crabrim said, "Not yeah, told him was sorry. We're crying you could tet, and ye don't do me him bookie the right? The United don't fool your medi. Now yet to no me name yet, but it's of my media near the trouble. Many and the midi too. Into the machine room no. The next is the video about your woman. Also for nothing to be feel cry me. I don't get a rushing into any about your woman, sir. And if you don't know, some better no power nipa do dear. Forget it. And the ABC may shower moody metal. And as sorry here to him, and know the metro had to be. But apart from that, me call secondary school now, me seniors be now, as a group, no, yet a capella, or the Bible voice trade new, and one Frankie 5 for have Mrs. Senior, and you made the oil mid day, mean to me too. Almost forcing me, I was at school, so they weren't quite able. Until them do much in the call. Then me call was there, me too to na. senior director or say Yentumi, you the bend song, go set it there. No ma quarto a base. Me senior set to say challenge Yentumi the enka ho. Call Frank ono na Frank di ma to Berto. And you rotating beside him say, my catch up say di menya de woman coffee. Like let me go to my dormitory and sleep. But I would always say, okay, bro, better on below the TV. If we do baby now, I'm continue and I'm a backing vocalist. So talking about avoidant personality disorder, remember all this example to say that yes, some of the things it happens to us as children, then it carries on, right? But then just as we learned the behavior, Pastor Yentumi on learning and relearn, right? Until again, so I can say last week, you learn, unlearn, and relearn. And just as I unlearned and then I've relearned this behavior, and then me no more say at least I'm making progress. And you're not the end of the day. So you do have a voice for fra, not for the many angels NATO. But as I see so maybe. Okay, so how does it present? These people avoid situations, circumstances, and I say any eyibiano for the fear of criticism. Say me ye nebeka say anye, and I say disapproval, and I say rejection. Into this is the cardinal point. Say me ye na yebeka say anye de nyamenye, right? And in most cases, na efise my ye be pain. In most cases, my ye be pain, ama anko ye. Into what you know, and also say, Biankasa na me huni, into me percent me putting myself in a position where I'll be vulnerable. Into then the men cry, right? And I say, a banner say, ye ne afofro in kita who dear mukrampona. These individuals are willing to involve with others because be are not oman permassive, right? Okay, I say me cause obi busa question during the week, and I make say there are some people that goes to places for a while, and sana almost start easy up. Now, almost easy up pursue you now who I will say I couldn't know it is because maybe I made by way not the way I may no maybe I'm pet, and I'm also mean person made damn where did not. I was my ye be TOB and yes, I mean, some baby D. And repair mono, so me feel comfortable, then I'll start to ease up. Okay. And they show restraint with intimate relationship because of the fear of being shamed or ridiculed. Into Obisano, that man, I so be man and no more no. Because they say on person or the is near so for the fear of rejection in the end, I better I don't know why I demand from afar. Okay, so that is people with avoidant personality. They are preoccupied or being criticized or rejected. And you know, if they are more assembika, more contribution be making. It takes me more time to process it than the time I made the back. Right? So that is people typically with that disorder. Esa de say nyina no sinti de ma omone afoforo ayonko fa eyede. They view self as socially inept and I say personally unappealing or inferior to others. And you know, for someone like this, either their presentation, their physical looks, they find a reason why. Either say, oh, me roso, me kase ye, manonte, me preaching ye to say pastor, and me person me preaching. Say, but they see a leading program at the way Uncle Kojo Ebage now no leader the whole church get involved no me mentesa intimate person me leading program cry. Those are some of the symptoms, right? They are usually also reluctant to take on personal risk or engage in any new activities because they may prove embarrassing. Into the men person may yet no me go me who masi into the sense in a meeting baby. Okay, all right. So the next one, dependent personality disorder. So these people depend on somebody else. Yes, still your cluster C, so the last set of the personality disorders. So these people depend on others for excessive amount of advice and reassurance from others. Menka say men ko buse obi for a future. Menka say men buse obi for a guidance. But these people depend on others for excessive. Like anamobia obetu bia no. Just say obuse obi asa. And usually it is like a particular person or people. And in a family of 7, I am the middle child. If I happen to so be a person with dependency, if you my brothers mienu bi, and I say me mame, like there are some group like nipa baku mienu bi, ewo. Bibia me ye bia no, just me buso mo asa. Inti patcho school so krapo me peke de we na adwuma we no hwa de we na be ye. Do me person to kwa. Every decision, every move, shall I see this woman or but I don't know how I will tell her. So how make I go about that? One of channel. And you know what said you no very outgoing, more towards the necessary part, now feel I'm more liar fast. Okay. And then they also need others to resume responsibility for them for major areas of his or her life. Academic, education, marriage, relationship, need na just or consulting with these individuals now and some decide. Obi sa no na so worry na. Oni ni di nkomo bia na just okobusa ne ma me babansa. So baby me dey now no. You are in the family, move taking all the decisions, but approval has to come from the mom. It's just because that person have had that dependence, or ne mama so throughout the childhood, and they also have the difficulty expressing this engagement, disagreement. It is so no nya na osho so beka because when people we say na medino, right? Me pese support amenye fi no ho no me lucy. Enti no ye for no we be a me pene so me ye ha me but me ntimi nka ho asem because me down, right? Ana eba no so na den say omo betimi initiate a project ana so say bibia e wo so obo ne hya ase ti tem bia no obi hya ase dia na so ma me guidelines in dia and the me execute pepepe ma ba say me anka sa me hya ase dia and the be so that is them. Ana ye to omo so no they go to the excessive length to obtain whatever support, the approval, and all of that from other people. They also feel uncomfortable or helpless when alone. Esa say, "Emri biano oma dying obi to make those decisions for them." Okay, all right. Now, say ebane say, or in a relationship, now they've depended on the individual now. Necessary relationship and there. And this one I don't just mean marriage. And I also say, well, any form of relation, not that for penny, not that for net to quite unaccessible. And immediately I have to jump on and get somebody else. Say, I'm making those decisions, right? Into any form of relationship, they say, yeah, you pay, then they have to get on to another one. They're also afraid of being left to take care of him or herself. Enti no ebrebiano sa ehu no etechire. Enti tembiano ese me ye de metumi bia se be ya metumi a maintain you na wetumi aboa me with that decision. So look at it this way. Look at it, and I'm talking about therapy and treatment for the first two nina. Look at it this way. Say me someone with dependent personality. I tell you, and I say me me for me taking initiation. Let's say me could date and I'm a worry or be narcissistic. That person also thrive on some other people's emotions. Net tembiano, mina media and all of that. Also, moi, bibi how crumpa won't mean can tembia ferry idea. I say, who more. Can you imagine the type of toxic relationship we're going to have? It's a chatbot day. International baby ni na no yen sha share with premarital counseling and who say so we are compatible and yet a narcissistic person and a dependent person coming together to marry yes and in the family life do ni amani hunu what you say it is some of the personalities ni be one ma though the dependent person may not express so much their disinterest in what is going on but who to say or need that so they be an awful all right okay and in terms of treatment once again therapy works very well for these individuals versus medication. Let's help them to build self-esteem. Both the avoidance and the dependency. Now, taking on more tasks. So we bibia yen count for we appreciate it and then let's also encourage them to take on challenges. Until once you encourage them to take on challenges, just don't throw them to the wolves. Give them guidelines. Oh, a remote program you may person na akwanche ben na obe here. Okay, memory verse we no betimi gina so dia ye. Na se offer verse we say na obetimi e dey afa ni say oh. Enti no enye say or depending on what to do everything for them. But what man the guidelines na we no man na prepare. Say be ya be boosting the confidence in so enti no man na present it to you. Owi anu akwakoye day 1. Day 2 Omano assignment now or no uncle choosing the verse or no choose say no nye we are not presenting right no one man akwanche no akwakwa yes second one day 3 and I just don't mean say first day second day third day as the confidence builds stand I may refer to in the 1 day 2 day as the confidence builds now for the next time now what you say okay I just start bit I did the way I see the afa right but say be ya obe build more confidence into nipa be mienu miensa you're comfortable with ni ehia no present ni ehun say okay afa chairman say you are on enti do ko john ma what be preach it say pastor me can say you are do pastor level but o confidence level no do ho no na fi de what be john what be express and all that and as what be john kasa with confidence they say Uncle Fred na after the ofefi so that is how you guide them to where you want them to be. And yes, and I say, Uja is oh, there be any debian mawana, or what me see any time the system we obey any dainty wow ya. Man, could trash or council. It is that in Nano, I was here taking care, right? Say about the says, may yes or no may young form swa, as he a pet or dog can be so. Nay, a decker. No credit, 10 be an essay kind of credit in here. But then, no credit will honor crampo now. Yes, your choir, your fasoka, say bear, you don't hurt the feelings of that individual and dampen the spirit of that individual so much. Into no and who he has. All right. Yeah, share some more of what we can do. Assign their tasks, give them responsibility, give them public exposure when possible. Say bet me I'm nipa dudu but make sure shall see kaka. Set limits with narcissistic patients when they come in contact with these individuals now. Yemo mu said there be maybe or no ma want me and friend do nipa kure. And yes, I mean, and yamin or the yamintino, okay, right? I was say it to me too. As I make content, I can answer, pace me okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, all right. Okay. Anna, disregard them when attention becomes the focus. And as you try to give them the guidelines, what church or Makwani are doing, say, but who say after that, or ya dine with too much? That what you want, no man who said there be me wow, ama what to me at the home, right? Anna, you have to call them out when behavior is exhibited. And say, Bane say, oh, yeah, bibi nenya, said the medical kind of. And yes, our person of one now also so if even it's not right. Because one person said, oh yeah, you do say now if you do aqua do nipa do no aqua you know a flop in the cry. Now if you be man feedback now, then I'm messing it up. And you have to really balance it. It's the last Uncle Freddy Busa OCD for obsessive compulsive disorder. And there are two things coming together here. And sometimes, and I be no where do you OCD do the fact that me person be the way I was say no does not necessarily make me OCD. Oh, ebia a quite way say soon as see a fire. Let me person I mean, you OCD. That's why I'm saying sometimes you lose sleep. But the OCD, the obsession is the continuous thought of something. The compulsion is the doing. It's obsession part and they say, a shameso, my dream me say, menya, and menya ya, me hunto me. Right? And at the compulsion here say, me ye, no masako ye, no masako ye. So we have the obsessive compulsive disorder. So the thoughts repeat, action repeats. In the no babuma, then we have that, right? Now, say say yarewa hodo a outpatient yɛtai diagnose and treat na is the fourth one and the torso 9. Mema mebunu no ɔmo no and the tie ɛdɔɔso ɛwɔ mumu ɛsema. They also usually have other mental health issues. Until the ABA na ɔmo generalized anxiety, then OCD no ɛka ho. Until no kaya cluster C for no yɛka say their general presentation comes with anxiety. Until you realize they say avoidant personality, dependent personality, and then this one no anxiety related, right? Until maybe are not usually or more be no account. So the obsession is the thought, the compulsion is the behavior, and the behavior and the thought is repetitive in nature. Tenya say simitimba ko neja mienu debi. Enti no uni obi wo ho no ewoma na okwakohwe se epono ne atuma obesa ne obeba na na epono ne atum no asan foko oho na ye ne se da bi epono ne atum no asaba, right? One my stove no medum no enti no obe check be 3-4 times, so it is the same action obe repeat it obi one my wa ho ne se wi wakọ bathroom wa ho ne se wi, but ya na ye ne se ne nsa ho fie. Then over wash ya me wo patient ba could be na otime ho ne sa na I started bleeding. Okay, so that is those extreme cases, but yet ebinum wo ho no sa. And all of these are part of the symptoms, the repetition of the action, and then the the thoughts, the obsessiveness of at the chrono. Okay, until as I mentioned, contamination, doubt, say, oh, my year, right? Oh, who be said, be bonny, right? If you want to maybe I'm a shift, into Tembia and SM check stove, that kind of thinking, and the ACC this money, sir. And the intrusive thoughts can also be, say, thoughts of sexual harassment or aggression that can lead to serious implications, right? And who say they say what did obi boni be in all cases ana say why hunting one man no yeah, but I say a so like rigging the one argument into bona or reporting or answer or no be better say bema I do we say no and harm, right? Obi one so now or more OCD with symmetry. I say everything has to be in line. If one my colors into the say colors a human or yeah, it has to follow the way it will make sense in his head. So what's the sabba crampo now or buy now was and they will have a problem with it. Say lines so na say dimwa say tintin first like shortest in front and what say yes you mess it up a hard one. It doesn't change the air and just a matching and drilling now shortest in front or two backwards or one forward be around now yeah see a bay yeah match here wait me who and you not wait me coordinating and yeah no be. But this is the case where it just has to be in that order. If not, it just messes my mind up. Sana no eti. Enti ebano OCD no so na ebi ne say if you want obsession here religious. Like what fan no person obe ka sem kono obe repeat sa I said there say bi oye ne aka de yamene yensum ne bi. Oh, and we have that but me mate back because omo aya no mo preach o ekwa ho bebrebe ni nyina no enyom nyina na ebinum mental illness, which is very possible. Ebi so dey hoarded. Omo hoarded nyoma. That obsessed with the things that they don't want to get rid of it. People are also a hair pulling. I mean, because once again, all this falls under the anxiety related. People also nail biting. It has to be a certain age. People also masturbation and all of that. And all these are symptoms they present with. And in terms of treatment, once again, this is one that therapy is much better than medications, but medications is also usually used in treating this condition, right? Now, when me share a question by as to temperament and personality, men can but then yen share BB to say, or be a melancholic, right? Almost symptoms in the day. As a presentation, symptoms in the use and I say, Obi or Yare, Intina because presentation, they won't propose died. Into presentation, anxious, worried, unhappy, suspicious, right? Into does it not fall more like cluster C personality for no? Pastor, Uncle, I think Elijah, Uncle Elijah, one Indra answer na me mind how it relates. Anna, if you're obi to say the sanguine correlate now, these people know if you look at it now, very playful, easygoing, sociable, carefree, hopeful, content, excitable, all of that. It looks more also like the cluster B people, right? Actually, histrionic is one of the personality disorders under the cluster B. And that is how the temperament can correlate or go in line with the personality disorders. On this note, I think it's a story I bet with the Busa questions. And to be the best here say, now you have questions in the see to me we are measure and money how or chilling yamboa area mesane mo ashia na yatwa en komono so. Okay. Me who say Bethel, my name say Sister Bethel, and I say Bra Bethel. Amanesa so. Then first Nova and so Amanesa so. Next page, And Auntie Susan and so Amanesa so. You prefer Bethel first. Near call first Nova, near Auntie Susanna.
Yo, me that's it.
Pepacho. First, if you saw a chat, we remember. I'm not ignoring that.
Okay.
Okay.
My questions, you know. One. Now, okay, be a narcissist and as a self-loving. Again, be autisano. Yeah, Christopher. A spiritual impact. And is a basa nipa. That's my first question.
Spiritual
I mean, you say, Ubi or self-loving, or love no one. Yeah, me can't say a Christopher. Na or no, just say, Bibiano was seeking for himself or herself. There was spiritual impact to be. Sending yam is no at the same. A mudaho.
Me ya no ahwe say manti ase ya no asan abo me.
Okay. Yo. The question I told me you know. Say cluster C no say you. Me find say a young boy a Messi Sua member. Many experience be a na me wo minu anum penimfo ho. Na say e bibi ni na me consult wo mo say bra ebia school a me koi e dia na wo say me school be na me choose course ben na one dream mu and because of the experience you have no menya eno is it disorder? Is it a disorder?
Okay.
Say just the nuanum penny for honor water po one experience. Is it a disorder? Okay. It's my questions, you know, me no.
Okay. So second one, I think and the answer is no, and yet disorder. I think some make sure would make I said some me busa for a footstool and you're wrong. It's not an issue. The word I used was excessive. I said me dino, and that was with the dependent personality though. Me dino. And you know, course ben a mean see. Me no me busa me brano. School ben me ko. Se me kwa me yen say na then the enti se me bra ni ho no ma. Making decision for myself becomes difficult. So the excessive dependence on an individual or two for all major decisions. And you might do a mayeni no. Just a medai sa ni chrono and I say nipa bako and mienu and son of me decided. On the channel. And you know that is where the differentiation is. Most of this may stress a word or a phrase so which defines them into know where the excessive nature of it. Uncle Pacho, I don't know until I say
I agree. I can't first one.
And the first one they say when I'm self-love so much over reliance on myself, me Jimmy Hoodie do there may be a spirituality no. So how does it affect us spiritually? The part where it may be a problem, they say, one here I would do better so and yen yankopon do more bibia our boy ye or into know the faith that we're supposed to have in God. I might who say okay, there's a superior being and all that, and one here would do better so and we did. Now, the other thing also say, I see a adolfo in our suit in a year. And you know, when you don't have the empathy, it's all about you and you don't consider others and so on. Then now a relationship with others and so no AI the order. You know, so me take question I said yeah, then that will be my answer. So me I know ye there then man tia
I made as a and one where you are known because not me dream say we narcissist self-loving or a sorry more. Sir, Bibia, ya minkwa, just without you, no. Yeah, and as I said, Obiko can be beer. Now, I did not suggestion be, and I said, be and feel honor. Now, who bought out to a good until a man has a spiritual impact, because we'll be artisans who are sorry more. And very difficult.
Yes,
sir, when Bibia would be baby, I know about to a good or no quad DNA. So,
right.
Until I mammy busa that question. And you know, Yanni was a subano, me and Winnie, Namoy, Madam was it.
Your uncle, yeah, that's it. All right. I'm saying Elijah, right? First nobody.
I am yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Now, maybe Misano, I'm a cluster being you know, narcissist more.
Yes.
Okay. And the cluster being any OCD, no, and what they when it me grow, never year micromanagers. Because usually no more year micromanagement, or my section mono, or my section yapa. Because my boss we are na brand boy dim papa. Nti me pese me hu sa disorders too e mu de wen pa na timi e grow be yesapa.
Okay, so histrionics, anti-micromanagers, narcissistics, anti-micromanagers. OCD for the no, I don't want tiny micromanagers is out. Just the way not no, it has to be like that. Or the nadia to one me found some kind of that kind of thing, right? And so more task now, need the only problem. But then when money it's a family, so I said dime me, I was a few me no, then they tend to be nitpicking and then be in your space and then try to tell you how to do it. And plus a B for no mom no that micromanagers no C for any day, it's more anxiety related.
Yo, me that's
Okay. Auntie Susanna, then now my chat in now for the Masaba and
Dog, that's it. That's it for when all the my and go point shout. And I have one question. I mean, this is a very one. So obi amfa papa nina and also enya infect and enya affect on so and so behavior be sure now because I'm talking about my husband. My husband didn't grow up with the father. It's when it comes to raising kids now, I mean it's not raised. I mean I was raised with both parents. Let me go I'm expecting say yes say as a father, but Usha he never grew up with a father. Only we got now we got 19. I say only how to be a father. Or no, he would prefer to be a friend to the kids. But I mean, feel say as a father, you must be with a role model. But someone who say and also say yeah, infect how they think and how they raise themselves, and I say how they be around the kids, because he tends to be always being like say petty. I feel so always want to be a victim because so I not say fool say no, I plan say nah, no person play victim. Nah, won't feel bad. It's no say no so no, yeah. Then no say no so yes sir. Is it because one for opinion and I say be here? Me that say.
okay. Once again, when it comes to specific cases, I'll try to stay away from it because there's so much more about this gentleman now. It would be unfair to him to conclude without knowing the bigger picture. But then I think the broader question is say Abia, there is no father figure. Does it have an effect? Yes, it is. The ideal case is to have both. But Sebio Obu also knew with the wrong father, right? An abusive father, an alcoholic father, whatever, like one every child. And then is it better to have that kind of a father than not have one? Albania Abia, a single mother, crampo, able to raise you better than an alcoholic, drunkard, abusive father. And the answer will be say unya ejapa ene napa na so moka bom na so motete mofra na eboa is the best case. Or auntie. So that would be my answer. But to the extras in the beja and what one answer because as I said, there are so many details in there. It would be unfair to conclude on him. All right. So Obi Busa said, what are the types of narcissistic personalities? I didn't go too much into the details and all that because of the nature of education. Let me say, generally. But so we say, you were who enum, right? 5. Into the overt, covert, communal, antagonistic, and then the malignant, right? These are the 5 but in terms of the presentation, the treatment, and all that is very similar in this presentation. Differences kakra, but the similarities are more than the differences. Okay. Then Obisu Busa said, how should we handle hearsay issues as Christians and those who think everything in their hand is much better than everyone else? Once again, it comes to say, yes, certain limits. Now, reinforce the limits. I think said then I kind about the lifespan. I mentioned they said in any case, people will try to see as much as they can get away with. And so when we say, okay, this is how this person presents, then as much as possible, and so man who said Debbie, this you can get away with this you can I won't tolerate this Yentumi into saying so can be an one fan show the paconase. Next of money the money drew a cheer. Then it's like if you accepted it for so long, now what happened? Into the is all trying to work correct here, and I say you are being firm now, and money day. But the shot here now, When Pacono say, okay, we say Nedia, mean to me, and Yanisa. In the Banisana, they mend their ways. When him say, even the stronger narcissistic person, oh, Bia, so Oceana, a buffer, one of him, because that person have shown to them, say, there be, you can't have it this way or that way with me. And yes, sir, maybe I said, maybe I made them out, and I also said, then be our dying meanty. There be, it is just that I've already given you the guidelines by which we are going to operate, and we're going to operate by that. Okay. The patron say me you was na no dia uncle edu amanensa so na ya fa ne dia.
The question is, behaviors now, the behavior, if the behavior in a community, it doesn't affect the environment and affecting itself, and so that behavior should we confront the person to stop it. Kuma, scenario which is a Shatawari. Shatawari will behavior, no. It doesn't affect himself, it doesn't affect the environment. Environment and so be with that behavior and also. Typical example is through the behavior and what in here running into that success. Which means that the behavior has helped me both environment and on myself. It is that behavior, and if maybe there is a few percentage being a criticizing that behavior, and should that personality, and I said that person possessing that personality, should we confront that person to stop the behavior? The question.
Okay. So our first question was say affected or no, and affected the community, then really nobody has a problem. What am I saying? And affected, we don't have a problem with it. Affected. Obi answer you more problem with it. Obi anyone may affect it. Then we don't have a problem. Then the second part of it, and they say in Kakrebi, I don't know what basis are you determine the kakra. Yes, it's shot him to that level. But how many has he also trampled upon and yet stepped on? Trembled upon, right? When you're picking that kind of fights and all that now, and once again, I don't want it to be centered on an individual. But as you do all this, to get up, do those so na o nanti one so, ese wodin, ese wonyuma, ese di omoye, kika wotibum. Say ekobane sa so there, then somebody has a problem, or the community has a problem. Therefore, then we'll have to talk about it. But once again, to the first part of the question, you don't have a problem, the society don't have a problem, then we don't have a problem. All right, Uncle Ben, I'm say what more answer?
Yeah, what is sorry, we got more. To me, show video.
Okay.
Yeah, Pastor, I don't hear that brain. Now, so be a narcissist. My first question is, does the person know he is a narcissist? And are such people open to like changes? Because say me did you say them here na me hear more and somebody can help you. So then you open yourself up for help. As in Pakun name say be or is there any hope for such people? Are we going to live without people forever? Or are they going to change someday?
Yeah, and then I'm thinking I say obi or be crampo no. The strongest part of it, right? But then I say a skill crowd 1 to 10. That's only what 10 crampo na. Obi so Oceana those presentations in the buffer, right? So personality a buffer because we recording na set limit now when you say mean to me fan grow on. The other question is say obi will be so onim. Say be minim nipa ban ya meye, but bia edino hana maybe minim and also say me accept say I'm a narcissistic or I have avoidant personality. But I know say And you may be all the man, nay, ye me day. A son said, me person may ye, let's say, ye becas one in the yenti. It near our the friend no is different, but the symptoms is the same. Internet they be America say, let us always go with the symptom and not necessarily the diagnosis. Right? And say oh yeah, narcissistic or avoid and to end histrionic or then let's present the symptom and then deal with the symptoms and not necessarily the diagnosis. And give and say what's my
Oh, yeah, Matthias. Yeah, even could
okay.
do what was symptoms no crown. A bad dance or bad year too. Oh, because all year too,
Because we're not so far so.
one would you the irons, but go ahead, I just to buy. So that Papa can answer me. President Obonidi. I'm the one with the but I don't know whether you will ever agree, sir. Me or symptoms. So, into back to the church and say, Obi show those symptoms no crown bona. Yame and yes, and I don't know why. I open and ready to change. So, for the sake of the common good. Every insurance are the same, but that's very great.
Your uncle, me that's it. Uncle do mean say one son was show from initially and I say what's Amaswa.
Masama so.
Anka yema wo mo a omo musa question no musa anka do aba yeah.
Okay. Then Sister AC, then Sister Fiecha, then first Nova Minim Sister Elijah there because he too no also. Inti yanko a man immune answer.
Okay. Doctor, I'm saying, I'm sure pa, and then church pa within my. Na a person who say, Sa ya a winning united a yare. Obi or what? Obet me say, a bit me abba say.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I will see you an answer say. Dear Dicano. And person me who say, a be a situation be. Anaa kyerɛ sɛ tibea bi a obi bɛkɔm efiri ne mmɔfra ase etumi ɛma na abdate saa behavior si bi anaa sɛ sɛn. Yeah, my question that's
Okay. Yo, Miss Medase. There was one condition Indra account was and I think say avoid that personality though. Where I said they say a child a war obi a ofi abusua kesi mu, right? So the question as to say a bit more about entity and I say wusu. With that one, usually from abusua kesi because they say bia me fiba no, you may have to struggle to survive. And you know, a mamenya sa personality, no, right? As part of my growing up and mentality, because it's more or less an environment of survival of the fittest. And you know, a me go through and a mana abasa. If you are no so now, in this case, there's not like directly a gene analysis, because okay, directly inherited. But then once again, there is the issue of the nature and the nurture. E wone mame so ne papa, and I want so, and I so we can say yes, it runs in the family. But could it also be that the environment, mufino, and our more present Obisuba argue say, oh, but Ninu Bisu can one if you but or no, and that question, especially with these conditions, and it's very tight to say directly, yes, genetic here the one from Nawuzu say environment, but either way, both of it plays a role these disorders.
okay. Yeah, what you man up? I'm saying no my contribution kakrebi. If I school asam. Obi tie ma na so senka member be mu kakra. But nneɛma bi sɛ na ne ka wɔ yi no so no yɛ a na ehu kakra. So ahu. Sɛ wonyɛ inside person a, deɛ meka yi no, wonte aseɛ da. So baako a ya meka sɛ Ghanafoɔ abaatan no, yɛmmɔ mmɔden na yɛnkɔsrɛsrɛ yɛn mma no school mu. Yɛmbisa wɔn progress like IEPC ne nneɛma no.
Where the show, sir, or honor no. Said you are on us in the because my person like young and a chineria.
Okay.
Oh, nay, do no more.
Okay.
Because, I don't know who the infant question chineria.
Mate, Papa. That's
it. Yeah. Okay, into young fat sister fear. Now, I feel the bread room runner.
That's it, Papa.
Oh, yes.
My same business say personality, yeah, can who as me, especially dear, yeah, more especially the all kind certain limits. No, said the last time I me kind about January 6th for more new mayor or more any or more report or more debate. One of the things that Monsieur Freeman say, I think that when assembly started to see and the only person I see White House phone was trying to get say on it, President Ibe Kasa was in a year. And from the conversations from previously, who said she sets limits. Onimbema or warino, and she will set a limit, and there are consequences for every action. Make a timer as a bar say on name ma be the in the interview, the lady said it, and I like that about her. Or set a limit said there are consequences to your actions. Now, and no sano in the settings, sano ubet me a handle almost one-on-one. So we were asafumua. How do you handle, how do you set that limit? Because a bi na they realizing this a bi so they have the leadership qualities. Yeah, mu be because of way taking risk. Yes, leadership kakra de tu ane ho popo said the okay. But those people on to be taking leadership role. They have some abilities so are here. But yana sa subino overshadows and on who can say how do you set a limit, especially when wasafumua or community to be able to benefit from him with us?
Yo, Medasi. Okay, as I found it, and I'm sure because there were similar cases be. Oh, me, I say. Now, me other back with if he had to call a Richmond. We must all about so, but if you so come me more know my how I would deal with it. Now, personally, right at this point, say me leading program was sorry, and I say if I'm doing anything, they know how I do it, and it's very different. Me ba share here, me ma the objective, me ma timeline, me ma how many questions I'm going to accept, me we. What am I say? Because me who say discussions in the need to be drag about school, I'm ready divine. Until never point 10:30. Me busa question na me fam yenu. So who will become one sorry train next time. And yes, I did really discussions are not there. And yes, I mean to be Joe be idea. Now the issue of or your imposition. Yes, you may be in position, but you are not the final authority. What am I saying? Anything now, as the SDA is the one check that allows so much because of its structures. International share or hardware the year. I won't say the okay, no, you move be warm so now you pass him through us. You interview soon cast any penny. It's no be because we have a movie, but you ain't been can say we really are quite now caucus na a meeting. And so I said no by any more than went to me. And the make a person say as part of certain limits, you don't ever have to be rude about it. Not at all. But you have to be firm. What must I say? Nicely. Yeah, the basic nicely. The other thing also say now you also have to know the persons. The cluster B people, because of their presentation, ego is very, very like huge with them. And yet bibia so that and yet baby a yebo po bia na ejina hosane no. Enti I okawasore dey dim nti na say me so mi na do ho no. You're going to have a back and forth. Uberie no enkosi hwe. Opemrepa I did one of it. I said this year about 2 weeks ago. I was already there. Every day me call nipa in check. And I'm in okay. Every day I say the way I see can need the Matthias here. What am I say? Some of them making na me pamucho me can say me na me ya do was annual man no there be but me nim the me yentina me de me na me example no. Right? And you know, and many people you don't want to confront it right there. If you on my SO Pembre, now Neka, say be an ego no so will not be busted. You know, it's just how you manage it. Naka cracker now wait me and resource out there. If you have a choice, it's me you are.
Perfect. Me that's it.
Okay. Then you call bread and do so. Hey, about 9:13.
Okay,
When it's being kind of
And then Friday, as long as
Yeah.
you want to take the questions that we are open, and then Friday they'll be uncle baby.
Oh, okay, all right. No, then and then maybe mini program be every minute. Okay, ready.
the question is, suban nyinaa na yɛtumi sesa no anaasɛ suban bi wɔ hɔ no ma yɛntumi nsesa no because wɔn yɛ akyɛ aseɛ sɛ suban bi wɔ hɔ no ma yɛtumi yɛ awusu adeɛ yɛ awusu afra wɔ deɛ anaasɛ afra wɔ genetics deɛ ɛbɛyɛ dɛn na yɛtumi asesa no obi wɔ hɔ no ma ne papa abusua no nyinaa wote si abusua no line no nyinaa no they are very very talkative which means say around it through the genetics. Who abusua bi mu obi nyinaa yɛ very quiet. Obi ɔyɛ quiet no just so ɔyare. Ɔno yɛ deceptive to say obi ɔyɛ talkative. But Ghana mu no yɛ bi yɛ din a yɛsɛ ɛyɛ kama wɔyare. Saa afɔ no so ne so around it through the friends genetic mu. Ti sɛ nipa no bɛda ne yɛtumi ama obi a ɔno nso yɛ very quiet no so tumi ayɛ like sɛ ɔno mu a wɔnyɛ ɔbɛyɛ balance na sɛ period no. Obi nso a ɔno nso yɛ very talkative na ebitumi ama na yɛ equilibrium. Yɛsua adesua nyinaa no wowɔ ɔbabaa wowɔ ɔbabarima wɔ kɔ awadeɛ yɛsi bi necessary suban yɛtumi sisa suban a ɔbabaa ɛkɔ awadeɛ ɔbabarima ɛkɔ awadeɛ wotumi sɛ akoa bi anaasɛ bɛrima yi odi n'akyi na ɔbaa yi odi n'akyi ɔwɔ suban bi ɛsɛ suban no ɛnyɛ community no nyinaa mpɛ. Yɛsua adesua si suban yɛtumi sisa nti wobɛka kyerɛ ɔbabaa no sɛ suban ɛsesa nti wokɔ a kɔsesɛ suban no na sɛ ɔbaa no ka kyerɛ so nipa de wɔte sɛ saa nanso ware na ne suban no mɛsesa no so suban no yɛtumi sesa no a saa ɛba ne saa no a yɛma akwaraa no nkɔ awadeɛ no misiane sɛ suban sesa anaasɛ yɛmfam so akwaraa no sɛ akwaraa no ngyae nsɛm aka bebree nanso ne nyinaa wobɛta se nefoɔ ama me meda ase
Mr. Bedase, we ask about example be of mine. They say, my question, na contribution, na what man ako, or not what mean ya new year open. Of course, so brother, na for the SMM pow be womb, maybe ya no, into bread. When they met pow be womb, the may ya no, say me ya no year, ain't in a year, let me answer question because I know. Say be a man to us here, now correct me. So now, says to Mrs. If you look at the last line now, it's organized very early in life and it's dynamic and deeply ingrained. I understand that. But it can also be altered, which means you can learn, unlearn, and relearn. Right? So, a fifth year, and I say, cluster A, no crampo na, a year, the neurons, the chemicals, the B cry, we can still alter it, right? With therapy and medications, we can still alter it. And their behavioral, yes, we can also alter it. When you say genes, crampo, genes, there are certain exposures over a period of time which will alter your gene. Inti eno crampo na eye gene nankasa no crampo no. Yes, it could be altered. And the second part is so be kwa warrior we who's baby and men kwase me kwa kwase sound pakro because you may not be the one ebi obet me asesa no. Because your position is already compromised. So bet me asesa de anya asesa na ansa no warrior no. That will be my suggestion. I said, oh, me come and yash, one who pie very clear. But also, there be me kuma, messesan. Now, at that point, no, that's a year, no, any day. Into no, if anything, I would say, Sabi, any nipa, so necessary nipa. That's made the quite there. Into the empire, but then there's also the therapy part. So you can have Christ and have a therapist, and there's nothing wrong with it. Into the therapy, could be say be only on or better as your best self. It could be so say obepo be no naka. Into the marital counseling, so a hodom no, you bet me that you may be the actual on better as your best Sunday, so baby, and but at the end, so say a course they are. In some cases, are you willing to deal with all of that? They make getting in answers, say, would you question be nature you know the Debbie. But Obi Odoma are very compatible with who they are into your okay. Obi Odoma so now, and you're very compatible with who I am and the things I believe in. Into being to be known and sign. Either as our for I baby worry. In case our area project. I baby worry. And I also say I uncle for right. Mean to me no side as a friend because this is not compatible with me. Also, when you're ready, so be into we don't have to. Ready? May you know?
It does bad.
Okay, that's it. Okay, first Nova, then at Sister.
Where the time so now where the quick even a the FM. Yeah,
Maybe what's our show still? Is it from the old one and I say for no me who's a mess afro like so that I can acknowledge you later.
Patomiana.
Auntie see.
Oh, where's Susie?
Oh, it's Dada.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we do change because
Okay.
me him or you. Okay. Elijah Mpacho, wait back.
Yo, me that's it. Now you can 45 one sem. Was a 45 no or buy ye or you need to be our share. I had demand so bit here for two pa. Na a do baby no say huni pa crano na a yet demand. So a papa you cry go unti in the side I mean na so enka. See you need to be say oh yeah sumwa na ya safuma. Then I mean, it will remedy be a bit more fast so they approach it because they do baby. When me approach, you just leave it, then one die off and I say bed because it will be an eye once married. Minister has him send a muda what they are.
Muda hopa, but I'm so stuck we are a fuck quite be swap a bed 3 times a year. It's another very smiling. So once again, say you will be the best thing is to set limits with the individual. Sebe enye wado ya oye masafo ninti no be dictate ya masafo. What was it? Enye se mo bia obo obi nti na do ba betem bia sa school discussion bia je so ka. You as a church, and I mean the leadership, has to make conscious effort as to how we channel the energies of the individual to get the best out of him or her, yet not contaminate the rest. We say, and you may be one of my what the more beer, they have more control. But my money per corner, you may be much of that individual will not be seen or heard, but the impact of the oil will be felt. And to say there are discussions, name only do so much. I can make that conscious effort that you don't lead discussions so much, but planning we're planning programs. What am I saying? So we're still getting the best out of you by my own getting in the position where it becomes a negative, like ever having negative effect on others. See, anyway, about they're tossing me a so yenyi na sutre. I think so big earlier. So a bit more say onim. It is possible that I'm not so much aware of the impact of the omoyeno on Obifofo. Intinu ina sutre na so mani in some cases they come to a realization. But so yeah, that's only per corner Jan or Jan, a sign for so be onya was and you see them repeated also so many times. There may you know, I'm getting some benefits of it. Me who say like sand me pen. And yes, idea and you so no choir make me a handle otherwise no may handle nicely. Our crown waiting. Well, you are no.
But you, that's it.
Okay. Anti-attack then Mr. Sante.
Yo, me that's it. Me pacho, wokasa no woka bibi say obi wo ha oye ade ema wa na ohwehwe aseda ana ohwehwe say ube kama obia wodi nkrofo kra beba betena nanim abeda na se ne sa ne manema no so ka bibi say na me pese mbisa say na omo nso a bibia obeyi ama wo mo bia no nso o mani kra na oma beda oma dase ana so no omo nso mo ye hinifo.
You say menka the American and say
Me
the right
pachoka.
answer. Before banana and so idea.
Yeah, obi wo ho timu say when you ye ma yade pa so me da se kra ball na ampa say adekro say ye de wa de ye who said Vincent Kanu. This uncle from so mo ye de before.
Okay, so just one that's not qualify one for a disorder or a personality trait or but a super body. Think of this. Be your idea more I saw than I say. But just say if you go or pass it down and just say or a narcissistic, right? There has to be certain factors involved now. It may classify into that group. You know, with that one, no, just one will not qualify one at the disorder, but it's baboni. That's what sister. All right, Mr. Asante and I'm Mrs. Asante.
But I'm so question that Mr. Ledger Ebusai, you made a statement that Alpha different channels so Ababe yeah, people have issues with that. Made any contribution, there's so much of a question. What I see our church name say when they see stuff like that now, when they question back to back, nobody will have the courage to go to the person and talk to them. They will wait until it gets out of hand. Now I'm blown out of proportion. And I said they will go behind the person's back and talk to other people. Yeah, Nipana or yeah involved, no, they may not talk to that person. And to me, what I was saying is say if what you never had as a question, it means say something is bothering you. And when you see this kind of things now, go to the person, talk to them. Say the doctor can everybody say he's making that kind of mistake. Don't wait till they get out of hand. And I say could do baby. I have a big issue. No nothing now. I'm a crime who say nothing can confusion about. That is the main reason I told somebody say we focus so much on first of all any revival, your mom pie, then you say and forget about say we need to have this kind of tough conversations. And to say, oh problem, ask the person, talk to them, go to them in person and talk to them. I think that's the best way to go. I mean, these questions, we can ask general questions and it would not solve our problems. Let's go to these individuals, talk to them and resolve the issue, Madam Ase.
Yo, I think the questions also shows the Sabia or more person mutu anamo, na kwan ben or more fan faso. So, it's also okay. But I said the just answer kind I say it's million bako e kasa ho. Enti no. Be pacho enya wo die no na make count. Be shemo away general answers mema sebe a yenyina no ebi enya wasa enya yenyina the first nova. Last will be fi Denver by enti no. It could be that people have a elsewhere also. And these are just general acquaintance you meet me there first. But also in going to someone, let me say, I know say Matthew says so be a according to then so I'm for big back for penny for. But a bit no ma any assembly no be also can ye. And for what man say? Enya asem bia no bia ka eyeye Oboduma obekwa kodi asem like obewe no asem. And yes, it's true, say this person has like some characteristics which is impacting the majority of the people. But then, Ebia, now you're also not the best person to talk about that particular issue with that particular individual. Nti empo bia obetimi aka asem ni nonka. Minim say enti ase wo mu ana ase sem say chire mu further.
Perfect.
Before Matias. Matias, you
Perfect. Aye.
Right. Okay. It's Uncle Fred, that's on the camera. So I am catching.
I na bibi edu na ka ba ma hu say anti efia episode and sentini minim say yema no. The last question and that we can bring it to a close.
Elder me that's a very short. Media no also has to do with say focus no so much has been on the other behavior. And I'm saying no more on the other side now. Most of the time, me for the all kind of so anyway, yent mean kind your thoughts ninty. A be I no cry to make about school for hours. Ye too we no behavior for you for no. And then for two now so they be my no so you know. You can't asafo no times near that etwekọ anymore but say because he share training nti won share dan hu ye we ni impact but your impact ne mo asafo no kra. How do you address that, Pedas?
The mechanism so will be can be straight to the point and fair home. Mama was saying that I said about school yembusa semunti and yema answer sunti. But the only thing is also don't and fire copy addition for floor. Stay on the lane. But then suddenly it gets to me so much. Anything I'm take off a honor no bit me mass about school contribution root me and caddition. But again, who has a near Kentin patch when the boja me the film the issue of the more reserved people. Who say I will give this example, right? People with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity. Hyperactivity for the many attention, like they will get more treatment, they will get help and all that. Attention deficit for an entire because whether I crop all the mission myself, better na answer si ono. One the but the keka do no na ni be kono ho. And in these cases, say that's a system for more of the traction na because avoidant, dependent, and all that in the low. But and also a hard because there's so much that you can tap from them. But as I say, and I say, the full potential of their capabilities need to know. Not the best out of them to also help the church. And identify those individuals and also. Now, Yentumi and harness or more potential nina back together a bit me abwa amasafuno etimi akonka paye. But as to more dragons about school in the end, some schools of pretending young maker.
Doc, Yamishra pa na asafoma echina area program no so no ebe krabehwe. Me sure say you were all kinds of questions. In fact, the China area na ye program no ebe into all questions are free. Memory dano from last week no near chair near kanye o question went to me musa so for so a question no on so public saying episode yeah you just more mutimi a type no bit na a type akoma a doctor nko personal no nko na be hu ono bi kwan a was bit me ebusa question no and also a blow question na ye nyina yate ase doc nyame nhira enyumre wama yadesua no aye kama asafo man yɛhwɛ da mu nyinaa se sɛ mu nyinaa mo baa ma yadesua no so no ɛyɛ kama pa abɔ 9:30 ɛkyina yɛsrɛ mo mu nyinaa mmra asɔre dɛm na ɛnyɛ fɛ na yɛ program no yɛntoa so yɛne doc ɛna bɛsan ayɛ yɛ program bi menim sɛ asɔre pani question ayi bi wɔ hɔnom a manansom bi wɔ hɔnom ansa na yɛabɔ mpaeɛ de yɛdwumadie no aba awieɛ.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yo, any say bibi ni ho saa de a ene mesrɛ mo a mommi nyinaa si etirase na ye mompae. Ndwe Nyankopɔn ye da wase bio. Aye na ase enka odin. Wama sɛ ase ya from ma wama ye ni age. Esan sɛ adusua kuni a wode abrɛn. Obo wiase no wa mmɔbɔne. Nanso bɔne e ba yi ntina ma adwene mu haw bebree aba abɛda yɛ so. Umma umpɛ sɛ yɛbɛkɔ saa tebea mu. Ɛno nti na de biara da wode saa adesua yi ɛbrɛn. Yɛserɛw sɛ obi wɔ ha a ɔrekɔ wɔ adwene mu haw nneɛma a yɛakeka symptoms yɛakeka yi nyinaa behaviors yi nyinaa no wo Kristo wo nkutoo ana abɛtumi asesa yɛn. Ɛno nti yɛpagya saa nnipa yi nyinaa yɛpagya yi nyinaa yɛn ho de hyɛ wo Kristo wo nsa. Homeda kronkron Kristo hyira yɛn. Sɛ yare bi wɔ mu a sɛ yɛnyaa yareɛ maako maako. Ɛberɛ a yɛkɔ akɔda yɛnim yɛn ho so hwɛ. Yɛwɔ awerɛhyɛmu sɛ wobɛkora yɛ wɔn taban kɛseɛ no so na de bɛbɛkye a deɛ ɛyɛ na ase ama wo. Afei yɛn nyinaa sanka Yesu Kristo dɔ. Nkonkwan Nyankopɔn no ɔmmɔ yɛn ho ban anadwo fa yi kɔpem sɛ yɛbɛhu adekyeɛ wɔ Yesu Kristo din mu nti. Amen.
Amen.
Ɛneɛ Mispo.
You did it. Amen.
Damase.